What's going on, guys? You may or may not know me. My name is Zach. So I've seen some pretty strange things all across my time on the internet. Just off the top of my head, I can think of things like, let's see, Mr. Hands, Goatsy, things like Funky Town, you know, the worst of the worst. But there's a single video I remember most that is not that bad, but for some reason it really stuck with me. And it was a tutorial video on how to grapefruit your man. And I'm not going to go into crazy detail about this for the channel's sake, but let's just say it involves a woman administering oral copulation onto an object while including a grapefruit with a hole in the middle into all of it. It's about as insane as it sounds. Now, I bring this up because recently I came across a video while watching fellow commentator Nicholas Dorya of a man on OnlyFans who has done something very similar, except now apparently people pay for it. It's an interview conducted by Taylor Lorenz titled The Mr. Beast of OnlyFans, and I just wanted to check it out and show you guys what's going on over on whatever side of YouTube this is. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it.
If you spend enough time online, you've undeniably encountered the work of John Kylo. John is a 28-year-old OnlyFans creator in Portland, and he's become a fixture on meme accounts and viral subreddits. He's part star, part performance artist, part cultural critic, and booster. He's created Skibby Toilet Porn, cosplayed as a Trump supporter while having sex with a fleshlight mounted to an AR-15, made parodies of Ben Shapiro and Elon Musk, had sex with every item on the Taco Bell menu and the Pizza Hut menu, and even ranked the most fuckable pastas. He's also a brilliant artist, filmmaker, and kind of an internet and media prophet. Okay, first off, no, I've never heard of this guy. My Instagram feed is primarily filled with racism and anti-Semitism, so pretty standard for a 20-something Mexican. I don't know what type of regular feed or content you would have to interact with in order to have a weird OnlyFans creator consistently popping up. In fact, I just don't believe she meant what she said, otherwise it's a pretty wild self-report. She also starts explaining the multiple different types of porn parodies or movies that this guy has done, including porn parodies of Elon Musk and Ben Shapiro, dressing up as a Trump supporter and making love to an AR-15 with a fleshlight strapped to it, and he's made skibbity toilet porn and tried sticking his you-know-what inside of every single item on both the Taco Bell and Pizza Hut menu, and ranking how fuckable each item was. And I've got no words for all of that, other than this guy might end up being patient zero for the next sexually transmitted disease that gets discovered.
But more subversive.
Yeah, I mean, you really, I think, stood out among other OnlyFans creators for these viral, doing viral content basically on OnlyFans. So tell me how that started. I think it was with a pumpkin, right?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. It was 2021, October. I'm like, I want to do something for special Halloween. And I had done some stuff with people, you know, originally just solo stuff. But somebody told me, they're like, I like to see some kind of themed things from you. And so I actually wanted to do like costumes or something with like with a storyline. And so with the pumpkin thing, 2021. I will say that this kind of became a big meme like a couple years down the road. I mean, I'm the first person to do this with pumpkin, I'm sure. But I feel like I was like the one that first person to kind of like really like bring it to the mainstream.
Okay, here's a wild self-report from me. It's sad that I actually know this guy was not the first to stick his you-know-what in a pumpkin. I remember seeing a video of a dude doing just that on the hub almost like 10 years ago, and I'm willing to bet there were plenty of people before that guy who did it too. I might have seen this guy's photo floating around in the past, but he definitely wasn't the guy who made it popular. That's stolen valor, and I will not stand for it.
Like that one. And then I thought maybe, how about I compare things, you know, just to see like, because tier lists were kind of like becoming like in vogue, a big trend, and so I wanted to see if I can maybe I could rate several of the same category of items to see which one was the best. So I did that with cakes.
Got it. So you had sex with multiple different types of cakes, right? How many are we talking and what types of cakes?
So you had sex with multiple different types of cake, right? Is that really where we are? I've gone out and interviewed people who travel the country and catch pedophiles. I've interviewed real-life superheroes, and I've interviewed people in the commentary community, but, you know, I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've had to ask something so absurd. I can't lie, though. Given the chance, I would definitely interview this guy. Even if his use of tier lists make me pretty sad because I'm a fighting game player, I can't lie, he does have me interested, because where else would I be able to learn what's more fuckable? A Wendy's burger or a Taco Bell burrito? My money's on the burrito, by the way.
Platforms, I think, aside from Twitter. So how are you leveraging these social apps to promote that content without violating terms?
I censored it. I placed a big old black bar just like in the front of it, and kind of like, and I said in the video, I'm like, if you're watching this on YouTube, then know that there's going to be, I said that every time, there's going to be a black bar covering sort of stuff, and so it went through for a long time. I mean, eventually the YouTube did get taken down. I was getting videos on there covered. I think one of them had one where it was like, the black bar was like too small, so it just kind of hit the bots that kind of scan for that type of thing. And it's probably also the language I was using too, because I wasn't censoring myself. I mean, like, if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you probably are noticing how we are obfuscating a few words and carefully choosing our language here. I was not. I was just basically taking the whole video and putting a black bar over it and cutting out the camera angle that was actually on the close-up of it. So it was making like basically a PG-13 version of it, or I guess like a theatrical R-rated version of it.
Wait. So this guy can post straight up porn on YouTube and get around the automatic detection, but if I post a cover of a song or I say fuck one too many times, I get demonetized? Really? I know he eventually got banned, but I've got to be doing something wrong, seeing as they're constantly getting me. But I do find it kind of weird that he was posting these videos on YouTube, the site nobody really goes to for pornographic content, I assume. The last thing I want when I open YouTube is to be bombarded with this dude's ass in my recommended feed. I hope at the very least he was age restricting his videos for the sake of kids who might come across it. Yeah, the idea of referring to pornographic content or creating a PG-13 version of your porn doesn't really sit right with me, especially if the goal is to advertise across different platforms. I mean, Reddit isn't so bad, but on YouTube or TikTok, it's definitely pushing the boundaries of what's cool and what's not. But I guess that's the name of the game. You gotta do whatever you can to get yourself out out there. Can't say I blame the guy, even if I find it super weird.
I feel like the success of so much of your content was really driven by this like ability to understand YouTube and the internet and kind of like Mr. Beastifying your content. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I want to see what makes a YouTube video get, I guess, viral or get a lot of views, retain attention. That's exactly what it is. It's attention retention is the biggest. And taking Mr. Beast videos and seeing what works for him, all the things, because it's really making something that captures the attention and holds it for a long time.
I can't imagine Mr. Beast would be too happy having his name tied to this, but I also doubt he'll ever find out. It would be really funny if he did. It's a crazy analogy though, especially if that's where your mind ran immediately when you heard about this guy's content style. See, when I saw the title, I assumed he was giving out blowjobs or something to people on the street if they could answer a few questions right. You know, philanthropy. Not that he was creating pornographic brain rot, which, adding on to that, I can't help but feel like most adults wouldn't be interested in porn or the brain rot that they already don't like. Kind of makes me wonder who this guy's audience is, because genuinely, who is paying for this?
Burger, yeah.
So since you make a lot of this like viral content, what's your audience like? I mean, do you have like a mostly younger audience? It seems like since you're tapping into such like zeitgeisty things on the internet, it would skew more Gen Z, but who's your fandom made up of?
I feel it's made up of actually a lot of like middle of the road queer people. It's like, I would say probably maybe 60% men, 30% women, 10% gender non-specific. I would say, yeah, it might skew towards people who would be younger, who are able to go onto OnlyFans, but definitely terminally online people who understand the memes and understand the contexts of why this meme is funny.
Well, lucky me, Miss Lorenz asked the question I had posed previously. It's one you definitely can't avoid when you're making porn like this. I know Gen Z is mostly adults now, myself included, I just turned 20, but hearing that someone is making porn targeted towards Gen Z definitely makes me do a double take. It doesn't sound right. I forget I'm getting old. Even then, he has to save himself while answering this question. It might have been a Freudian slip having to add that his audience is definitely younger people who are quote-unquote able to get onto OnlyFans. Nice save, bro. Nice save.
Follow me. Also, a lot of people like trans men who are like, yeah, this if I had the appendage to do this with, I would.
I think also just being born as a cis woman, it's like if you did wake up, you know, with a male appendage, like what would you do? Honestly, having sex with pasta sounds probably like something that a lot of people would do.
Whoa, what? What? Is this what you guys think men want to do with their appendages? Why would this be something you want to do if you had a dick? Why? It has never once crossed my mind to fill a fleshlight with pasta and fuck it. What the hell are we talking about?
So I did, yeah, 2022, I did a video kind of parodying Ben Shapiro. Now, Ben Shapiro, if not for...
All right, I don't want to clip chimp the original interview, so let me break this down for you. He made not one, but two Ben Shapiro porn videos. One was apparently mocking his viral clip from a few years back.
Wet ass P-word. Make that pull-out game weak.
And the second one featured him testing out a dry fleshlight and explaining why that was better than a wet one. Okay, there's no way this video gets monetized. I might as well just keep going with it all. Might be one of the worst topics I've ever picked for a video. My bad, y'all.
Because I did one for the election, which was me pretending to be a Trump supporter, where I wore a hat that wasn't a MAGA hat, it was supposed to look like one. Instead of Make America Great Again, it said Make Pee Pee Poo Poo Again, because I wanted something that was like a MAGA hat, but actually wasn't that. It was me with that, and then, of course, I mounted a flashlight to an AR-15, and had with that. Now, that was a pretty unhinged video, because it was basically me saying, this is what the average Trump supporter is like. This was supposed to be a commentary on gun fetishization and gun culture to, like, I'm literalizing the kind of way that people have glorified and kind of worships guns as almost like in a sexual manner.
This one is probably the funniest to me. The idea of mounting something like that to an AR-15, a gun I'm super familiar with, is pretty damn funny. All right, the main thing that always gets me when I hear these crazy video ideas is like, how is he staying hard the whole time? It's impressive, and I hate to be the guy to say it, but I can't imagine staying erect while holding a slice of pizza up to any part of my body. He shares that it's actually a political statement, and I suppose it could be, but even though he says these types of videos are all meant to be statements, I think I'm gonna have to draw the line in the sand at sticking your willy in an AR-15. Oh, also, he dressed up as Elon Musk and put a fleshlight inside of a globe and titled it, quote-unquote, Elon Musk fucks the world. And you know what? I can't lie, that one's pretty creative. I gotta give him props. And then he dives right into his skibbity toilet video where he places a sex doll's head inside the toilet and, well, you can guess what he does to it. All while dressed as a cameraman. Who's the audience for this again?
The logistics of it were already hard because doing this into, I don't know if you've ever tried to have the toilet, but it is difficult because you're basically in like a deep lunge the entire time. Like your body position is just, it's a hard thing, and also cramming all your cameras in the bathroom.
How do you develop these ideas and how do you kind of formulate them to succeed?
I figured that like I see how a meme is getting like traction or like a viral video or something like that, and I think about how do I make this like an adult video? How do I make this something that I can put on OnlyFans? How do I make this sexual?
I know that people who watch this content are all supposedly adults, but I still find this as weird as people who draw NSFW of children's shows and characters from children's media. To me, it just makes no sense, and I promise you, it is dipping into an audience that you would not want. I was a teen at one point. This is the type of stuff that would have appealed to me. I mean, I'll be real, I was gooning to Overwatch back in the day. Shocker. I like to see what I like to do. But real talk, the people I think are most often commenting content like this are people who shouldn't be seeing it. And yes, I know it's not Mr. Only Beast over here's fault that the wrong audience is coming to his channel and seeing his videos. But when you're posting NSFW content on platforms that aren't explicitly for NSFW content, part of me thinks he knows what he's doing, and I just find it weird. I think that's all I really have to say about this. The rest of the interview is obviously just about porn and what inspires this guy to keep doing porn, and I find it weird. The subjects he chooses to make his adult videos on, but you know, I know there's a market for everything and that those markets will always be filled. Whatever, man. Get your bag, and to my audience, stop gooning! I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.